Glory to Ukraine, glory to brave Ukrainian army, brave Ukrainian people. Ukraine stands, Ukraine's fighting for the democracy in a whole world. Today I will show you one of the most prominent beauties in my garden. One of my biggest love is rose Kinder Blue, and I think most of you, or maybe all of you, at least heard about this variety, and maybe even already planted this one. I must admit that it became very popular here in Ukraine a couple of years ago, and I was also impressed by her. I was impressed by her photos, which were shared in different rose groups in Facebook, Instagram, etc. And I just love this color. I love roses in this lilac, violet, lavender shades and color, maybe even silverly lilac, different shades of this one basic color. And I have tried even to plant a collection of such, and some of variety, they have been performed very well. Some of them not so good, and I have got rid of them. And this one, when I first see or saw photos of this beauty, I was impressed by the form of flower, by the composition of flower, by the color, of course, by the bush habit, etc. And I thought and I decided that this beauty will be grown in my garden as well at some point in time. And yeah, I have planted it in 2024, and previous year 2025, previous season, it was its or her first season in my garden. And this car this yeah photos you can see on your screen, they are from the first bloom or first flush. There was no very distinct break between flushes, because I think this is usual for the roses which grow first year in anyone's garden, and they are not so big, they are mostly small. Bushes are not very branchy, and they are not very generous, and they just grow some new branches, some new buds, and this bud then they have transferred into flowers. And this bush was not exception, it was just growing some new branches, and all these branches, they were with buds, and all these buds started to open at some period in time, and then this bush was very generous, and blooming on it was very, very generous and very impressive. As you can see, flowers, they are pretty big, they are in clusters, they are pretty long lasting, and of course it will depend on the weather conditions, but we've had pretty long sunny and hot periods, and blooms or quality of each separate flower, it was still pretty high, especially comparing to some other varieties like Astrid Graffin. She does not perform very well during very hot days, during sun exposure, but oppositely Kinder Blue, it behaves pretty good, but you need to water it in enough quantity. Yeah, it's better to provide more watering than less watering, and bush will be grateful, of course, and flowers will be fully formed, and then fully opened, and the opening, the blooming will be pretty long lasting. Also color, it's impressive, and it will be so deeply lavender lilac even during sun days or sunny conditions, the same during clouded conditions, and during cloudy conditions it will be, or depths of color, it will be much more bigger, much more deeper, but during sunny weather, sunny days, color will be impressive as well. Also, life of each separate flower is pretty long, I would say, especially for while taking into account its very young or her very young age. They were maybe even 5-7 days on the bush, but of course it also depends this duration of each separate bloom, or life of each separate bloom, each separate flower. It depends on the weather, and as I have mentioned, whether it was watered in enough good quality. Form of the flower, form the cluster. Flowers, they are mostly looking up, but some of them they are heading their heads, and yeah, maybe this is because of the age of the bush. I will see the next season, current one, 2026. Of course, yeah, it started, but season has not started yet because we have a lot of snow, and I think we will have it till March at least. And there are predictions that we will have more and more snow accumulation, and our flowers, our roses, they are under the very, very thick layer of snow. And what else to say about this beauty? I think if you admire this color, because not everyone likes this color in roses, if you admire this color, if you love it, I would recommend to plant this flower, because in addition to the beauty of each separate flower or cluster or bush itself, this variety, she has very healthy foliage, and leaves are on the bush, and they are very deeply green, and this combination of green with violet, with lavender, with lilac, it's also impressive. And I would suggest that this bush, this variety, it suits very well for gardening, for different floristic aims, for buckets, for different maybe wedding events or some anniversary events, or to just care about yourself and just put the bucket into vase and put near your walking place, or where do you live, where do you like to be, or where do you where you are a long time. This variety, it is a little bit similar to blue sky Freelander or Freelander, blue sky free, in the maybe in the habit of bloom of separate flower, in color of separate flower, but habit of bush, they are different between these two varieties. Also, I expect this bush to be much more higher than it was during its first year in my garden, and this variety is among those which I will renew if they will not winter well. So yeah, thank you for your attention. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please share your thoughts about this variety if you have it, and your impressions if you have it, and maybe you I have triggered some interest in this variety by my video, by my photos. Would be grateful for any feedback, for any comments, and for any activity on the video. Till the next video, and bye.